Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, text 35 and 36. We will go to 35 first. Sanjaya Uvacha Etat Shrutva Vachanam Keshavasya Kritanjalirve Pamana Kiriti Namaskritva Bhuya Evaha Krishnam Sagadgadam Bhita Bhita Pranamya. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya said, Etat, thus, Shrutva, hearing, Vachanam, the speech, Keshavasya, of Krishna, Krita Anjalihi, with folded hands, Vepamanaha, trembling, Kiriti, Arjuna, Namaskritva, offering obeisances, Bhuyah, again, Eva, also, Aha, said, Krishnam, unto Krishna, Sa Gadgadam, with a faltering voice, Bhita Bhitah, fearful, Pranamya, offering obeisances. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Please repeat. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Purport. As we have already explained, because of the situation created by the universal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna became bewildered in wonder. Thus he began to offer his respectful obeisances to Krishna again and again, and with faltering voice he began to pray, not as a friend but as a devotee in wonder. 36. Arjuna Uvacha Sthane Hrishikesh Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prahrishya Yanurajyate Cha Rakshamsi Bhitani Disho Dravanti Sarve Namasyanti Cha Siddha Sangha. Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said, Sthane, rightly, Hrishika Isha, O master of all senses, Tava, your, Prakirtya, by the glories, Jagat, the entire world, Prahrishyati, is rejoicing, Anurajyate, is becoming attached, Cha, and Rakshamsi, the demons, Bhitani, out of fear, Disha, in all directions, Dravanti, are fleeing, Sarve, all, Namasyanti, are offering respects, Cha, also, Siddha Sanghaha, the perfect human beings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Arjuna said, O Master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Please repeat. Arjuna said, O Master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Purport. Arjuna, after hearing from Krishna about the outcome of the battle of Kurukshetra, became enlightened, and as a great devotee and friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he said that everything done by Krishna is quite fit. Arjuna confirmed that Krishna is the maintainer and the object of worship for the devotees and the destroyer of the undesirables. His actions are equally good for all. Arjuna understood herein that when the battle of Kurukshetra was being concluded, in outer space there were present many demigods, siddhas, and the intelligentsia of the higher planets, and they were observing the fight because Krishna was present there. When Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, the demigods took pleasure in it, but others, who were demons and atheists, could not stand it when the Lord was praised. Out of their natural fear of the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they fled. Krishna's treatment of the devotees and the atheists is praised by Arjuna. In all cases, a devotee glorifies the Lord because he knows that whatever he does is good for all. So, this is after seeing the universal form, Virat Rupa of Krishna. Arjuna is offering his prayers. And he says a very important point. He says the world becomes joyful upon hearing his name, not only name, prakirtya. What is kirti? Huh? Glory, fame. Kirti means fame. So Krishna's prakirtya means to spread his glories, to glorify him, either by chanting his name or by explaining about him to others and discussing about him, discussing his teachings, like what we are doing now. This Bhagavad Gita session is prakirtya. Prakirti, sorry. Prakirtya means by prakirti. Kirti means fame. Prakirti means prakirtya means prakrishti rupena kirtya. By emphasis added. With great emphasis, if we glorify the Lord, the whole world becomes joyful. Now there are 3 verses in Bhagavad Gita glorifying the Saṅkīrtana Yajna, the chanting of the holy name. Who can make a guess? There are 3 verses. At least 3. You can, some of the other verses you can indirectly point to Kirtan, the process of Kirtan. Yes. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. 9:14. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So always chanting my glories. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always they chant my glories. So 9:14. So today is 11:36. Another one about chanting. Who said that? Yes. 10:25. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi Of all kinds of sacrifices, Japa Yajna or Saṅkīrtana Yajna is Krishna. Of all yajnas, that is the topmost. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. So, chanting of the holy name of Krishna, why is it called a sacrifice, first of all? And it is the best of all sacrifices. What are we sacrificing? When we are chanting his holy name, we are not making any balidan. We are not sacrificing any animal. What is a sacrifice? Why is it called even a sacrifice? Usually people understand even sometimes fire sacrifice, the yajna. But why is chanting a sacrifice? What are we sacrificing there? Yeah. Time, energy, attention, material desires. All yes. We're sacrificing our urge to speak nonsense. Because vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. So we have a great impulse to speak. All of us, we want to speak. I mean, the biggest businesses in the world today are the social media companies. Because people want to speak. They want to say something. They want to have their opinion heard. Instagram, YouTube, X, all kinds of social media. WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the biggest chat app, right? I think over 2 billion or something users at one point. I think now even more. So you see, so we have a great urge to speak. I think there are some statistics as well. How many words we speak per day? And I forgot. Women more than men. That is also there in the statistics. I forgot the numbers. But so we have a great urge to speak. So we're sacrificing that. And it's not just, I just want to speak something. By speaking, what is happening? We are conveying something to somebody. And if it is not based on the truth, Satyam Param Dhimahi, absolute truth, then we are speaking falsity. We are speaking nonsense. And that is explained here. 2.5.13. Vilajjamana yasya sthatumikshapathe muya vimohita vikathante mamaham iti durdhiyaham. The illusory energy of the Lord cannot take precedence, being ashamed of her position. But those who are bewildered by her always talk nonsense, being absorbed in thoughts of it is I and it is mine. They think it is I, this is me, I am this body, and this is mine, that is mine, this is my family, this is my body, this is my country, this is my nation, this is my species, this is my gender, this is my world. Nothing is ours. And I am not this body. So we don't even know who we are. We don't even know what is ours. And yet we speak as if we are this body and everything is mine. And always talk nonsense. Vikathante. Vikathante. Talk nonsense. So there is a Bengali proverb. What is that? Pisachi paile jena mati channa hoy. Mayagrasta jiver hoy she bhavodoy. Pisachi. I think you know what is Pisachi. Prem Vivarta by Jagadananda Pandit. Pisachi paile jena mati channa hoy. Mayagrasta jiver hoy she bhavodoy. This is in Bengali. When a person is haunted by a Pisachi, which he becomes practically insane. When one is in an insane condition, he speaks all kinds of nonsense. Thus, to become engaged in sense gratification, one has to accept, okay, this is going on. He speaks all kinds of nonsense. There is another Bengali proverb. What is that? Pagal ki na bole, chhagal ki na khai. That means what a fool does not say and what a goat does not eat. In other words, goat will eat anything. Goat will eat anything. Chagal means goat. Pagal means pagal. Mental fellow. Pagal ki na bole. What will he not say? He will say anything. Chagal ki na khai. Goat, what does it not eat? Anything you will eat. So, in this way, we are speaking like haunted fools. Haunted pagal. So, to curb that nonsense and speak the name of Krishna, Japa Yajna. Why Japa Yajna? Because we have to chant the scheduled measurement. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Nati Bhehi. Sankhya Purvak. We have to have a numerical count. We are chanting, we are ordered by our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, to chant minimum 16 rounds a day. 16 malas. One mala is 108 times. What is that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, if you calculate 16 words in that Mahamantra and 108 times, I think 1728, if I'm not wrong, right? That is one round. So 1728 words. And times 16, I think comes to somewhere 27,000 something. So that is 27,000 words every day is Krishna's name. Minimum. Yeah. So, Japa Yajna. So in this way this is our sacrifice, Japa Yajñosmi. So here Arjuna is saying that Jagat praharishyati tava prakirtya jagat praharishyati anurajyate cha. This is our movement. Our movement is to make the whole world joyful. We want to conquer the world not by exploitation, but by spreading Saṅkīrtana Yajna. In fact, there is a nice article Srila Prabhupada wrote in the beginning of his Back to Godhead. You know what he said? The Britishers have come to India and looted the entire wealth of India and left. But they forgot to steal something. They forgot to steal something, which is the rich cultural heritage of India, which are in the pages of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He said then, I therefore invite them to come back and steal it again. Exploit our resources, our real resources, which is then they will be happy. He wrote like that. I invite them to come back and exploit this spiritual resource. Then they will be happy. Very nicely he wrote. So, this is explained in the Bhagavatam. Tasmat Saṅkīrtanam Vishnor Jagan Mangalamam Hasam Mahatamapi Kauravya Vidhyayikantika Nishkritam. Shukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reactions of the greatest sins. Therefore, the chanting of the Saṅkīrtan movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously. He is speaking to here Parikshit Maharaj. If a king takes up this chanting of the holy name, then others will take it. Because he will be the role model. What is that? Yadyad acharati shreshthas tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So this is especially true and especially relevant and applicable to our current age. We are in the what yuga? What yuga are we in? Kali Yuga. We'll go actually to that first. Kali Yuga. So each yuga has its own dharma. I mean, the real dharma is to surrender to Krishna. But that is done in different ways in different yugas according to the time, place, and circumstance. So this is explained here. Krite yadhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhaihi dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. So you see, whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga, the first Yuga, or Krita Yuga, it is called. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, at that time the Yuga Dharma was meditation on Vishnu. And how long? People used to live for 100,000 years. They used to have a very long lifetime. Very, very long. We only live maximum 100 years. That also we are not living. 100,000 years. So a major portion of that life is spent on meditation. Life was much more peaceful. Not so many sinful activities. All were called Hamsas. Very, very pure living beings. Like Valmiki, he meditated for 60,000 years, it is said, before he became perfect and he wrote the Ramayana. 60,000 years of meditation. That was the standard in Satya Yuga. Then Treta Yuga, the lifetime of the human being reduced from 100,000 years to 10,000 years. Reduced by 10 times. 10,000 years only. So in Treta Yuga, by costly and very elaborate sacrificial performances, fire sacrifice, yajna. It is not even one of those yajnas is possible in today's age. They are doing some fire yajnas here and there, nothing compared to what was done previously. The amount of wealth, the amount of cows, the amount of the kind of mantra chanting that has to be done, not just the pronunciation, but also the tapasya backing the chanting of the brahmanas who used to chant the mantras. This mantra chanting is not simply some sound vibration only. No. It has to be backed by Brahma Tejas. Then only the mantra will have effect. Why do you think, we see in the serial sometimes some Brahmana will take some water from his kamandalu and curse. And people are scared. You will think, what now? So what if you say something? We will think like that. Because nowadays, if somebody says something, it doesn't have any value. Those days, it had so much value. So much power. Nobody can undo what a Brahmana has said, whether blessing or a curse. Nobody can undo. Even the Lord does not undo. And you know why that comes? Why that power comes? Because whatever they say, they stand by it. First of all, they stand by it. For example, you see in the Mahabharata, when Arjuna won the hand of Draupadi, right? They were in Ajnatavas. No, they were in, not Ajnatavas, they were in Vanavas. So, they went. Usually they go and beg alms. Alms means something to beg for them to eat. So that was how they used to maintain themselves, and that is the proper way of Vanavas. But then, this evening they came with Draupadi. So Kunti, their mother, Kunti Devi, she was, her back was faced to the door, and then she was doing her own puja, her own worship. Then, look what we have brought. They said, Arjuna said, she said, today I won't take, you share it among yourself. So then they revealed that no, it's not any food, it's a girl. So, but you see, if it was today, they will just laugh it off and then Arjuna will keep. But those days, because she said share it among yourself, share among yourselves, they actually did a whole life. And whether people will comment on it, because one woman, 5 husbands, what is that? Polyamory. Like, how is that even proper? So it is completely unheard of, never done before, but still the word was honored. So words had so much Power, words have so much significance. Truth, that is the power of truth. They used to be sticking by their word. And therefore, and not just therefore, but also because of the other tapasya, whatever they say will never go false, whether curse or blessing or whatever it is. That kind of brahmanas used to chant mantras for the fire sacrifices in Treta Yuga. Today you see what is happening. The brahmana is lying, first of all. Eating pan, gutka, and what mantra chanting, what power it will be. I mean, I went because I wasn't there in my family for many, many years. So when my father passed away, we went to do the rites, funeral rites. And some Brahmin was chanting his mantras. And because we learned some Sanskrit from Prabhupada's books, I could, kind of understand what he was saying. Then he chanted some mantras. And I said, "You are saying that I am giving cows in charity. Then you are asking me to just put one rupee coin in the water and then put water on that. What are you doing? Where are we donating cows?" Then he said, "Who can do anything? Just do something." So you think my father will get any benefit from this? I mean, yeah, for the sake of society, we do that. That doesn't have any spiritual significance. So if how the offering will go to the departed soul by the mantra, what power is there in that mantra? You know what he said on the fifth day, I think I remember, fifth day or sixth day or something. We came to sit down and do the whatever the ritual. Before started, you know what he said? Yesterday, I think that time World Cup was going on, Cricket World Cup. Yesterday, Maxwell played very well. Glenn Maxwell. I think Afghanistan, some match was there, he was saying. I don't know who. He played very well. Right, this is your consciousness. So, me and Brajkishore, we were looking at each other and laughing away. So, we just chanted Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That is the real thing. This is just for the show for society. So, sacrifice, nobody can do in Kali Yuga. Okay? Dwapar Yuga. Next, what happens? Dwapar Yuga. The reduced lifetime of the human being reduced from now 10,000 to 1,000 years, divided by another 10. Okay? Here, opulent temple worship. Very, very grand temple worship. If you go to India now, the old temples, how big they were. Now it's all collecting dust only, and then some architecture we appreciate and come out. And then inside the compound, all dogs and cats are playing and barking and like this. One small altar will be there. Some puja is going on. One Brahmin will sit there and do something. Other than that, it is just an old relic, historical heritage relic. That's all. So how many? Just imagine. That is now. What it was what those temples were when thousands of people were managing that temples. Like Srirangam, of course, those were in Kali Yuga only. Earlier stages of Kali Yuga, the remnants of the past Dwapar Yuga. But you see the how many? Just imagine how many thousands of people would be required. Thank you. So, what do you think? How many people would be required to run such a temple? Not possible in this Kali Yuga. In fact, it is said there is one verse in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, temples will look like homes. Look at our temple, nestled in some building here, third floor, like apartment. This is Kali Yuga. Temples will look like homes. There will be no more that shape of, Yeah, of course, there are still temples there. But those have the shape of a temple, but they're not the function of a temple. Here, there is a function of a temple, but not shape of a temple. A temple's function is what? What is the function of a temple? where you come and learn about God. Yes, darshan is fine, but where is Shravana? Shravan is way more important than darshan. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, don't go and see the sadhu, hear from the sadhu. That Kumbh Mela was happening earlier this year. One reporter was there in one channel. I don't know what channel was that. This lady reporter was there. Every guy who was guy or lady, her question was one thing only. नागा साधु को आप देखे कैसे लगा आपको? That's all. That's the only question. Then he will say something. Gone. Another lady. नागा साधु को देखे आप कैसे लगा आपको? अरे क्या लग रहा है? What is there? What is there? लग रहा है अगर नहीं लगा क्या बात है उसमें? तो I mean we don't even think what is even the substance. Just I saw something, some wild, something. Learn something. Did you learn anything? So they don't miss the point. There's some feeling, Sanatan Dharma. Nowadays in India, especially after Modi's government has come, people have more become they have more fervor for Sanatan Dharma. But it's all in the realm of just some sentiment. Mostly. Not all, mostly. Just some sentiment, we are dharmic. That is classic example of this, this is the Chaitanya Charitamrita classifies this kind of next one. Okay, this one, 19146. Veda nishtha madhye ardhek veda mukhe mane. Veda nishiddha pap kare dharma nahi gane. Among human beings, those who are followers of the Vedic principles are considered civilized. Among these, almost half simply give lip service while committing all kinds of sinful activities against these principles. Such people do not care for the regulatory principles. In fact, now it has grown more than half. It is 95, 98% this kind of so-called followers. Lip service. I am Sanatan Dharma follower. Proud to be a Hindu. What are you proud of? I don't know. I'm proud of being Hindu. That's it. So it won't work like this. Prakirtya. We have to know. Shravanam should be there. Hearing, reading the books should be there. Learning the knowledge. Temple's function is to teach this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which are the essence of the whole Vedic literature. So, whatever was done in the Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, and meditation also on Vishnu, not anything else. In Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, Dwapara Yuga by big temple worship. In Kali Yuga, that same result can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Yajnanam Japayajñosmi. Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prahrishyat Yanurajyate Cha. Jagat Prahrishyati. World will become happy. They are now having United Nations. It's the most useless organization in the world right now. The number of wars that are happening right under its nose is astounding. Between the Russia-Ukraine war, between the Israel-Palestine, between the Syria, all these things that are already going on, and big thing in Africa going on, which nobody even knows what is happening in Nigeria. The Christians are being burned and everything. Nobody even covers that news. India-Pakistan going on, India-China going on. So many wars, the whole world is full of wars, and our United Nations is there. For what? What is it for then? It's an abject failure of an organization. The classic example of a world failure. United Nations, what is it? Everything, everybody is divided. Where is the unity? So that unity we will get if Prakirtya, Tava Prakirtya. Why? The wars happen because they want to lord it over the resources. Oh, this is my sea, my water. Because they want to drill, take out some oil. They want strategic placement of their ships so that they can attack. This is my country, that is your country. I will encroach upon yours. Something, always fighting. This is mine, and they're fighting. Just now what we heard? It is I, it is mine. What is it? Vikathante. Did you remember? Speak nonsense. Our urge to speak. Vilajjamanaya yasya sthatum ikshapathemuya vimohita vikathante mamaham iti durdhiyah. By the power of the illusory energy Maya, what happens? They always talk nonsense, people in this world. Being absorbed in the thoughts of it is I and it is mine. Because of this only the wars are happening. But if we do prakirtya of glorification of Krishna, what is that? Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha magridha kasya svidhanam. Everything animate and inanimate, that means moving and non-moving, that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. He is the owner. Finish. Not I, not you. No need war. No need of war. Just what we will do? Understand that Krishna is the owner of everything. But then kings used to be there, right, before? How come? If Krishna is the owner, why there are kings? That means the way the ruling was done was that the natural boundaries caused by rivers and mountains, valleys, they were the demarcations of countries. Okay, and kings used to be representatives of Krishna and make everybody Krishna conscious. That was the duty of the kings back in the day, Vedic times. Now, that is not the case. So, Ishavasyamidam sarvam, everything animate and inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things knowing well to whom they belong. So if we, capitalism for example, they say, oh, we must exploit others to make profits. That's what capitalism is. How can they sell you at a better price? They must get cheap labor somewhere, cheap resources somewhere, and where they will get? From third world countries. And you look at the working conditions of those people, horrible. But in the first world countries, they're, oh, we have a very nice work culture, and where you're getting your raw materials from? I want to see there the mining that is happening. The kids who are mining the cobalt for the batteries, I want to see them in Africa. Wow, they're digging, and they're the boy is not even like 8 years old, 6 years, 7 years old. They're digging and going inside. Very, very dangerous. And gas, there's everything. There's no protective gear, nothing. And they're collecting from there. And that is going into our batteries. And that is going into all our parts, everything. And if we really see, capitalism means you have to get something at cheap price, means something is going on there. Some abuse is going on somewhere. And because of that, I am getting cheap price. And that's how they own market share. So this is capitalism. And when, not only that, in the greed for money, all ethics out of the window. All ethics out of the window. Why recent? I don't know how many of you follow the news, but in America, there was a CEO of United Insurance Company. He was killed on the street by one random guy. Shot dead on the street. And of course, he was sentenced and all that. But you know why it happened? They know how to kill with plausible deniability. That means, if somebody kills with a knife or a gun, you can point finger, this guy killed. But when the insurance happens in such a way, first of all, it's a big nexus, the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry, and the insurance industry. Big nexus, the biggest thieves. So, in America especially, the insurance, even if you're qualified, they will say, no, you're not qualified. And people have to pay heavy, heavy bills. tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. How are they going to pay? They cannot pay. So they don't take the treatment. And even only if you fight and fight and fight, 10% only will even try to fight. In that also they will, after a long fight, they may agree. So the insurance companies are making huge monies and they don't pay. So what are you doing? You're killing. Not by a knife, not by atomic bomb, not by gun, but by PDF file. They're sending PDF file and saying we're not allowed. We cannot pay for this. And then this guy is dying for some terminal, whatever. So you're killing by PDFs. So how to, now you cannot point to anyone who killed this guy. Because it's from a company, it's an impersonal, just like nebulous entity. So that's called plausible deniability, where you can deny that you are responsible for this. I'm not responsible. The CEO of the company, no, it's some, it's a policy of our company. It's just so it's like you're averting the blame and not taking it. That's also another form of killing, but it doesn't look as cruel. Just like abortion, they say, oh, we are taking care of the women's rights and health. Abortion, killing the child, but it doesn't sound. They don't make it sound like killing, and that's why people go for it and commit horrendous sinful activities. So this kind of cruelty that is done in the garb of kindness, worst kind. So if we understand that Krishna is the owner of everything, and we should just follow what he wants us to do. That's it. And that's the solution in Bhagavad Gita 5:29. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shantim richati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material existence. Three things Prabhupada always said. This is the peace formula, this verse. How to have peace? Three things we have to understand. Krishna is the only enjoyer. We are not. If we cooperate with his enjoyment, we will automatically enjoy our life. We should work for his enjoyment. So he is the only enjoyer. He is the only proprietor of everything. He is the owner of everything. And he is the only supreme friend of everyone. A friend is a person who helps you when you need. A friend in need is a friend indeed. But our so-called friends, they don't. A friend is a friend only when he gives you Krishna. Krishna actually gives us instructions, in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, how to come out of this cycle of birth and death and permanently solve all problems. So this is the greatest friend. And not only that, even other than Bhagavad Gita, how are we even living? How are we breathing? How are we listening and understanding anything? If Krishna did not create the brain and he did not create all these faculty for us, instruments for us, what can we do? What can we even do? We cannot even do anything. For we eat. For it to digest, we are not even doing anything. We are just either sitting or doing something work. Inside the digestion is happening. Who is doing that? What is that verse? I am the fire of digestion. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the fire of digestion. So he is doing everything inside. For us, it is automatic. For some animals, it's not automatic. They have to do a lot of manual job for their digestion. So Krishna is our friend. He is helping us in so many ways that we can't even imagine. We are taking his help for granted and depending on his help, yet we don't see. With the same tongue that he gave us, we will say there is no God. So that is to say those words, even Krishna has to give us the tongue and the power of speech. And with that only we say there is no God. So just imagine, see how we are ungrateful. So if we just understand these three things, we will have complete peace. Shankaracharya therefore said, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantras Tasya Namani Yani, Karmapyekam Tasya Devasya Seva. He said, there should be only one constitution in the entire world, not so many constitutions, not so many law books. One, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita should be the law book for mankind. One worshipable God, Krishna. One mantra, that is his name. And one work, his seva. This should be the formula for the entire world. And the whole world will be happy. Tava prakirtiya jagat praharishyati. They will be very happy and attached to Krishna. They will become attached to Krishna. And therefore, it is said, we cannot finish actually talking about the glories of Saṅkīrtana. You see, the last, very, very last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nama Saṅkīrtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukkha shamanas tam namami harim param. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy names destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. Just these very, very simple things which anybody can do, we get such immense benefit. All our sinful reactions are destroyed just by chanting his name, just by bowing down to him. All our material suffering we will be relieved. This is not some exaggeration. Oh yeah, whatever. I'm bowing down every day, my problems are still there. That means I'm not bowing down. I'm not bowing down. You know what bowing down means? Yeah. There are too many Dorbhyam. Okay, this is 1167. Dandavat Pranam. When we fall like stick, Dandavat means like a stick we fall on. So, or Sashtanga Namaskar. Listen. With 8 parts of the body, we pay obeisances. Sashtanga. What are those 8 parts? Okay. Dorbhyam, Padabhyam, Janubhyam, Urasa, Shirasa, Drisha, Manasa, Vachasa, Cheti, Pranamoshtanga, Iritaha. The obeisances offered with 8 limbs are made with the 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 knees, the chest, the head, the eyes, the mind, and the power of speech. Of all these 8, the mind is actually the most important part of the 8. So these are not just the physical parts of the body which are touching the ground, not like the, you see. Power of speech also, we have to glorify. We have to say some mantra to glorify the Lord when we bowing down, not just bowing down and getting up. That's why when we deity greetings, we have, what is that? Govindam Adi Purusham, Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalayataksam. Some words to glorify the Lord. You have to glorify. When you're bowing down to spiritual master Prabhupada, we should chant the mantra that is glorifying him. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestha Bhutale. So, power of speech and our mind. So, when we're bowing down, our mind should, what we are doing is, we are shedding all our ego. I am yours. Let my head be at your feet. Properly offering obeisances. So, that means, then our problems will go. If I just make a show of obeisances, that will not help. So just such simple things which we can easily adopt in our lives, and yet we don't do because we think, how can it be so simple? These guys are just bluffing, just want to make a show of this. It's not a show. Prakirtya. Today morning, those who came with us to the Malaygiri Dham, We had a nice mini Rath Yatra in the farm. And we just chanted and went some little bit on the road with the Gaurnitai deities. And you see how happy we felt. Very nice. Just singing Krishna's name and happy we felt. And when we discuss about Krishna, we feel happy. Bodhayantah parasparam. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Just by talking about Krishna, we become so happy. Krishna means Krishna, Krishna's seva, Krishna's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, entourage, paraphernalia, and his seva, and the devotees, talking about the devotees of Krishna, their devotion to Krishna. So in this way, if we just talk about Krishna's topics, our life will be just blissful. How blissful we will be. But when we give that up, the most morose, we become so morose. That's why Brahma said, you know what he said? Is this one? No, not this one. 10. If you don't come to temple, just sit at home. Tavad ragadaya stena stavat karagraham graham tavan mohong grinigado yavat krishna nate janah. Karagraham graham. You know what is karagraham? So, my dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain thieves. Because why? Because of my desires and attachments, I spend so much money. But the same money, if somebody else takes, I will make a police complaint. But when the wife takes, happy, I'm happy. So, thieves. Take money is going. But because of my attachment, but the same money could have been used for Krishna's service. Of course, we don't say that don't spend on your family or what. That's why it is kamasya nendriya priti, na indriya priti. Labho jiveta yavata. That's it. That should be the policy. We should use our money as much as is required for us to sustain our body healthily. That's it. After that, what else should we do with our life? Jivasya tattva jignasa nartho yascheha karma bhihi. Our life should be for tattva jignasa, for inquiry into what is actually life, what am I supposed to do, who's God, who am I, all these things. These big questions we have to ask. And not just ask and sit down. Find answers. Be actually sincere about finding out the answers. And then Krishna will direct you to the right path. You will come here. 9 Lorong 29 Gila. 0302. So, take the right books. If you don't have books, take the books. If you have the books, buy more books. We have so many books. Definitely don't have Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Get those. We must get these books. Our house should be adorned with these books. Why TV? There are so many other things which we have in our house, which we don't think about spending. This is a must. So many musts in our house. But actually they're not must. They're not absolute necessities. Without them, you will still live. You will not die. But we spend money just because they were advertised as, no, you must have it. Otherwise, it's not a house. We have to change. We have to be the trend setter, not trend follower. Following some trend of some guy who doesn't even know the value of life. We should know the value of life and we should set the trend of what we should have at home. We should have the Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bhagavad Gita, the whole library of Prabhupada books. Where? In my room, Prabhu. No. In the main hall. In the main hall, put a library with glass door or open. It should be visible. All the books should be visible to everyone. Whoever guest comes, they should see the books. That's how we must put. So, my dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, the material attachments and desires remain thieves, their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. You know, when your feet are shackled to the ground, you cannot move. That's why I cannot move and come to the temple because of my attachment. So we should give up that. So Prakirtya, we already are at the end of the time now. So the Saṅkīrtana Yajna is the Yuga Dharma for this age, for a Kali Yuga. Krishna Varnam Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yajnaihi Saṅkīrtana Prayayir Yajantihi Sumedhasaha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is predicted in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam that he will come. In the age of Kali, intelligent people will take to the congregational chanting, the Saṅkīrtana movement. What is Kirtana? What is Kirtana? Kirtayati the Kirtana. So, Kirtayati. Kirtayati means Kirtana. Kirti means what? Fame. Kirtana means to make somebody famous. But you actually can't really make the Lord famous, but to glorify him, to spread his glories to the people who have forgotten him, to remind them of him. That is called Kirtana. Glorify. And Saṅkīrtana means Bahubhir Militva Kirtayati iti Saṅkīrtanam. Many people come together and glorify Krishna. That is Saṅkīrtana. Not only singing, everybody coming and singing, that is also Saṅkīrtana. And speaking about Krishna, this is also Saṅkīrtana. Reading books, that is also Saṅkīrtana. Distributing books to others, that is also Saṅkīrtana. In fact, distributing books to others is the greatest form of Saṅkīrtana because it transcends the limits of space and time. If I speak, now we are having a session. Time is up, we have to close chapter and go. Right? But when you have a book, the book is actually Krishna himself. He can talk to you whenever you want. Like I cannot talk whenever you want, right? All our time are limited. If you are free, I am not free. I am free, you are not free. Like this. And if we come together, maybe for some time, after that cannot. But the book will always be with you. And Krishna, through that book, Krishna will talk to you at any time you want. How nice it will be if somebody can be there sitting with us and who can talk to us and soothe us, who can console us and enlighten us at any time we want. How much ever time you want, that much time Krishna can spend with you, talking to you. That's the power of a book. And so that's in that way it transcends the limits of time. And that same book can preach to your family members. If it is there, visible, it can preach to your family members. Krishna can speak to them. Or to a friend who visits you. He will just pick up the book. Like I used to do. When I used to go to our relative's place, I will look at if they have any bookshelf. That time I did not have any of these books. Whatever book, some story book or some physics book or something, computer book, something I will open and read. I never really spoke to people when I was a kid. So I would just be hiding somewhere and read one book. So if somebody comes to your house and then there is bookshelf nicely and attractive books, very nice cover, very attractive pictures, you will pick up or somebody else will pick up. One day you will pick up. If you are, say, forever depressed or what, okay, this book is there, let me talk to Krishna. Open, Krishna will talk to you. Krishna is always ready to talk to you. So books are very powerful and it transcends space. Sometimes we cannot go to certain places, but the book can go. Book can go. And private conversation, you can speak to you, although, like, what is this? Condominium, they have a security guard, you cannot go and sell books on the door to door there. But if you meet him somewhere outside, you give him a book, The book will go inside and talk to him. And generations and generations in the family. That's why book distribution is the greater mridanga, greater kirtan. Kirtan can be heard for a while and for a distance. But books can go, if I play mridanga, how far can it be heard? Even with a big microphone system. But book, you distribute here, he can go to maybe America and then still the book is with him and speaking there. So you see. So in this way, and I always stress on this point of physical book. No, I want ebook, Prabhu. No. Ebook means, in Telugu, E means this, A means that. We'll start with ebook, then go to A book. Facebook. So we don't want ebook because it's too distracting, this thing. Our devices, our phone can do everything, but that's a problem because it can give us Krishna, it can give us Maya also. And 99% is Maya, 1% is Krishna there on the phone. One app is pocket with us, and rest all is whatever. So we don't want like that. We want focus. Optimize for focus and optimize for focused attention time with the book, not for ease of use. Yeah, it's good to have something on the phone just to show for a reference if you want to show something to someone. But your own personal reading has to be a physical book. That's the best part. And also, the book, when it is there, it will invite others. If it's on your device, you have to unlock it with your fingerprint or iris scan, and then only go inside and then open that app where that app is, then you can read. You're curtailing access to others. So books are very important. In fact, we need to do a whole program on expansion of our book distribution here. We don't have much time here now. So please take to this properly. And those who have the books, those who don't have the books, please get some books. Don't just get one book. Oh, I will get one book and finish and then take another. No, why? Keep 10 books. Start one, finish, again, immediately start next one. And in the meantime, somebody else can read another book while you are reading this book. So take a set of books and go. And if you have already some of our books, take our bigger books, our bigger offerings, which are the magnum opus work of Srila Prabhupada, which is the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. These two books, if you have, you will realize, nobody needs to tell you again, you will realize that there is nothing at all required in this world other than these two books. It's not one book. It's like Bhagavatam is 18 volumes, Chaitanya Charitamrita is 9 volumes. But other than these two and Bhagavad Gita, these books, you don't need any other book in this world. Once you read this, you will yourself realize that. So okay, we'll stop here. Any questions or comments on this topic? There are way too many verses. I just cannot do justice. You see here, Yanna Mamangalagnam Shrutamata Gaditam Shrutamata Gaditam. See, this is his name, you see, Krishna's name destroys all inauspiciousness when heard or chanted. And last one, this one. Mantratas tantratas chhidram desha kalarhavastutah sarvam karoti nischhidram anu Saṅkīrtanam tava. In Kali Yuga, everything is bad. Brahmanas cannot chant properly. All topsy-turvy, everything. You want to put a proper sacrifice, yajna you want to do, ghee also is not there, dalda is coming. Vegetable oil they are mixing, and ghee is also not proper. There may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras and observing the regulative principles, and moreover, there may be discrepancies in regard to time, place, person, and paraphernalia. But when your Lordship's holy name is chanted, everything becomes faultless. That's it. There's one thing we need to just focus on. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, faultless life. Okay, we'll stop it here. Thank you very much. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.